Welcome back to the Dude's Crypto. Today we're going to talk about 5 tips to help sell out your NFT collection, Marketing and Community Growth Edition. Let's get right into it, shall we? Number 1 is that it's a journey. Your customer experience is a journey. Your whole entire launch sequence is a journey, meaning you're the conductor, it's your car, you have to make sure the gas is full, the insurance is paid, you need to provide entertainment for your passengers, and the community is your passengers, right? Your audience is your passengers. So think about long-term vision. Where is our destination? Where are we going on this journey? Along that journey, you're going to be making many pit stops. And some of those pit stops can be things like giveaways. You can be hiring a new team member. You can do AMAs. Those are pit stops, right? A small place where people can gather their thoughts and collectively engage with each other. Ideally, you have as much engagement as possible, which brings us right to our second point, community engagement. You should try to actively have the community engage and be part of your decision making for your project. Don't just simply sell. Don't say join our Discord. Don't push things. Try to have pull strategy instead of push. Don't push your NFTs on them. Don't push them to join something. Be so good that they just gravitate towards you because they feel your energy, right? Like a planet. Planets don't go pushing other planets around. The other planets feel their gravity and they, connect like that. You should have as much opportunity for engagement within your community as possible, within community members to community members, leaders to community members, and community members to outside communities, and try to bring people from those outside communities into your community. A good way to develop interest is giveaways. That's why it's so huge in the NFT space, because psychologically, when you give somebody something, they're gonna feel obligated to give you something back in return. A good sales tactic, if you're trying to buy a car or something and it's a hot day, is for the salesman to give you a Coke or give you a glass of iced water or iced tea or give you something first, right? Now you instantly like them a little bit more and you don't even recognize it. Let's go into number 3. It's the final week before launch. This is arguably the most important week of your whole entire project. The first things you need to make sure that are just set in stone is your back end stuff, meaning your smart contract is safe, secure, and finished. If you're doing generative art, your generative art looks on point and not an eye over here on accident, You need to make sure your website's done, your art's complete. You make sure your website can have the capacity to have thousands of members at one time. So the workload. Make sure all the back end stuff is in line first. And it's the last week, right? You've over the span of a couple months or 1 month or however long, you've been building up, and now you need to strike when the iron's hot. So how do you do that? Do more giveaways. As much as you can afford, work with high ethical influencers and promoters possibly. Use Twitter. I highly recommend message contests in Discord, so that in the last week people are messaging a lot because there's a potential for a reward, and when newbies come into your project, they see tons of talking, and that looks amazing for new projects, right? And as you know, most people join in the last week. That's just how it is. Most people wait until the last second to do everything in life. And so you'll notice the biggest influx in the last week, so that's when you really gotta pound down and get down to it and get engagement. Do AMAs in the last week. What else do we have here? You shouldn't be worrying about after the launch too much, because if it's a successful launch, you'll have enough money to cover anything that could have gone wrong for after the launch. But if it's a failed launch, well, it's a failed launch, right? Can't do much there. I've had that happen to me, and it's daunting. It sucks. It really sucks to have a flop of a launch, but it happens. And if that happens, well, you just got to keep going. Just start a new project, right? Reward those first-time buyers and just keep going. Number 4 is partnerships. And this should go without saying, like, you have to partner with other people. You can't do it alone. Nobody can do it alone. Very, very rarely. You can move fast alone, but you can't get big alone. So you should strive for 3 to 5 partnerships a week on Twitter and or Discord. Usually you're going to have to give away some sort of an NFT or whitelist spots. You can give away 5 whitelist spots and they'll give away 1 NFT to your audience, and you give those whitelist spots to their audience, and you kind of cross mesh between the audiences, and hopefully you get a few or many or 1 even at least good member from their community to join your community, and now you're part of their community. And the more you engage with that community, the more they'll engage with you. So like, that's how you build friendships amongst communities. One good thing outside of the NFT space is to try to partner with communities that are in your niche. For us, we're starting a brewery and an off-grid community, so our target audience is going to be craft beer drinkers, brewers, travelers, and kind of hippie lifestyle, fairly wealthy, olderish, 30 to 40, maybe 25 at their youngest, 45 at the latest age groups, with who's involved in Web3 space. So I may go to craft beer influencers on Instagram or TikTok, and I say, hey man, like, I'll give you a couple NFTs. You can have 1 for free. You can give 1 or 2 away to your audience. There's no cost here. If you're interested, let me know. And you just do that to a whole bunch of people, and do it in the travel industry, craft beer, brewing, whatever it may be. That's another way to do partnerships. That's not usually popular in the crypto space at the moment, but should be. And the last thing is consistency plus communication equal community. If you guys know, trust is simply communication over time. The more you communicate, the more you provide, the more people see your face and they hear your voice, the more trust they'll instill into you. So with that, like, it's a long-term game. Like, if you have money, you don't need to do this. You can just pay for everything. But if you're on the ground, nitty-gritty, building that community takes time. It's a long-term game. 3 to 5 years, give it that, man. Whatever you do in life, you should plan for it to be 3 to 5 years anyways. If you're trying to start a new profession, at least give it 3 years. See where you'll be. You'll be somewhere great, and just, head down, grind, build your reputation, build your resume, make connections, go above and beyond in that industry, and you'll be surprised where you can be in 3 to 5 years. But yeah, those are my 5 tips for a better, successful NFT collection launch. If you guys liked it, please give it a thumbs up. I always appreciate it. Please subscribe, share, follow, all those good stuff. We'll be back soon for the next Dude's Crypto blog, podcast, YouTube. Thank you guys for listening. Peace.